Japan has proposed a bold initiative, the formation of an Asian NATO. This alliance would counter Russia and China's influence in the Indo-Pacific. Spearheaded by Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, it envisions a collective defense pact, including South Korea, Australia, Singapore, and the Philippines. The U.S. is seen as a key player. Japan aims to leverage its security relationship with the U.S. This proposal comes amid heightened Indo-Pacific tensions. China's assertive actions in the South and East China Seas have raised alarms. Joint military drills between China and Russia complicate regional security. Japan's proposal underscores the need for a united front. The Asian NATO concept is still in its infancy. Numerous challenges and questions remain. The success hinges on regional powers' willingness to join and the level of U.S. commitment. Russia's strategic focus has taken a decisive turn eastward. This shift is driven in part by increasing Western defenses. Finland's recent decision to grant the U.S. access to bases near Russian territory has amplified Moscow's security concerns. The war in Ukraine has also pushed Russia to seek opportunities elsewhere. China, too, has adopted a more assertive posture in the Indo-Pacific. Beijing's actions in the South and East China Seas, including military exercises near Taiwan, have raised concerns about its intentions. The growing frequency of joint military drills between China and Russia further underscores the evolving security dynamics in the region. These developments have not gone unnoticed. Countries in the Indo-Pacific are increasingly wary of the growing military might and assertiveness of Russia and China. Japan's proposal for an Asian NATO is a direct response to this perceived threat. The confluence of Russia's eastern pivot and China's growing assertiveness has created a complex geopolitical landscape. It has also highlighted the need for a more coordinated and robust security architecture in the Indo-Pacific. The Indo-Pacific region stands as a pivotal crossroads of geopolitics and trade. Home to some of the world's most dynamic economies, the region accounts for a staggering 60% of global trade. Its strategic importance is undeniable. Despite its economic significance, the Indo-Pacific lacks a cohesive defense framework. This absence of a unified security architecture has left the region vulnerable to a range of threats, including traditional security challenges, such as territorial disputes and maritime piracy. The rise of China, coupled with Russia's growing presence, has added a new layer of complexity. Beijing's economic and military ambitions have raised concerns among its neighbors. Russia's willingness to project power in the region, as evidenced by its joint drills with China, further complicates the security landscape. The Indo-Pacific's strategic importance is undeniable, and its lack of a cohesive defense framework is a growing concern. The region's future hinges on the ability of regional powers to forge a common vision for security and stability. Amidst the evolving geopolitical landscape of the Indo-Pacific, the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, or Quad, has emerged as a potential cornerstone for a new security architecture. Comprising the United States, Japan, Australia, and India, the Quad represents a convergence of democratic powers committed to upholding a free and open Indo-Pacific. While not a formal military alliance like NATO, the Quad has steadily expanded its scope and level of cooperation. Joint naval exercises, intelligence sharing, and diplomatic consultations have become increasingly frequent. The group's focus on maritime security, cybersecurity, and countering terrorism aligns with the shared interests of its members. Japan sees the Quad as a potential foundation for a more robust security arrangement. Expanding the group's membership to include countries like South Korea and Singapore is seen as a logical next step. Such an expansion would bolster the Quad's capabilities and send a strong signal of deterrence to potential adversaries. The Quad's potential as a cornerstone for a new security architecture in the Indo-Pacific is undeniable. Its success, however, hinges on the ability of its members to overcome existing differences and forge a common vision for the region's future. Section 5. India's Balancing Act, Navigating Ties with Russia and the West. India, a key player in the Indo-Pacific, finds itself walking a diplomatic tightrope. New Delhi maintains strong economic and defense ties with Russia, a legacy of its Cold War alignment. However, India also seeks closer relations with the West, particularly in the face of China's growing assertiveness. India's participation in the Quad underscores its commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. However, New Delhi's reluctance to explicitly criticize Moscow's actions in Ukraine highlights the complexities of its strategic calculus. India's long-standing reliance on Russian military hardware and its desire to avoid antagonizing a traditional partner pose significant constraints. The Asian NATO proposal presents India with a dilemma. Joining an alliance that is perceived as hostile to Russia would likely strain relations with Moscow. However, remaining on the sidelines risks jeopardizing India's relationships with the West and potentially emboldening China. India's balancing act is a delicate one. New Delhi's ability to navigate its ties with Russia and the West will have significant implications for the future of the Indo-Pacific. Section 6. The Dragon's Shadow, China's Economic and Military Influence. China's shadow looms large over the Indo-Pacific. Beijing's economic and military might has grown exponentially in recent decades. Its Belt and Road Initiative, a massive infrastructure project spanning Asia, Europe, and Africa, has expanded China's economic influence. China's military modernization has also raised concerns. Its naval expansion, coupled with its assertive actions in the South and East China Seas, has challenged the regional status quo. Beijing's growing military footprint in the Indian Ocean, including the establishment of a naval base in Djibouti, has further fueled anxieties. China views the Asian NATO proposal with suspicion. Beijing sees the initiative as an attempt to contain its rise and undermine its interests in the region. China's response to the proposal has been predictably negative. It has accused the US and its allies of stoking tensions and promoting a Cold War mentality. China's economic and military influence is a major factor shaping the dynamics of the Indo-Pacific. Beijing's response to the Asian NATO proposal highlights the challenges of managing relations with a rising power. Section 7. Nuclear Anxieties, a Looming Threat in the Indo-Pacific. Nuclear anxieties cast a long shadow over the Indo-Pacific. North Korea's continued development of its nuclear and ballistic missile programs remains a major security concern. Pyongyang's recent missile tests have only heightened tensions. Russia's invasion of Ukraine and its nuclear saber-rattling have also raised alarms. Moscow's decision to suspend its participation in the New START Treaty, the last remaining nuclear arms control agreement between the US and Russia, has further eroded global norms against nuclear proliferation. The potential for nuclear proliferation in the Indo-Pacific is a growing concern. South Korea's recent acquisition of a nuclear-armed submarine from the United States highlights the changing regional dynamics. Japan, traditionally pacifist and non-nuclear, is facing renewed calls to reconsider its security posture. The specter of nuclear proliferation adds a dangerous dimension to the already complex security environment in the Indo-Pacific. Addressing these anxieties will require a concerted effort to strengthen non-proliferation regimes and promote dialogue. Section 8. Economic Imperatives Countering China's Belt and Road Initiative. China's Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, has emerged as a major economic force in the Indo-Pacific. The initiative, which involves massive investments in infrastructure projects across the region, has been both welcomed and criticized. Proponents of the BRI argue that it promotes economic development and connectivity. Critics, however, contend that the initiative is a debt-trap diplomacy tool used by China to gain leverage over developing countries. Concerns about transparency, environmental sustainability, and labor practices have also been raised. The Asian NATO proposal is partly driven by economic imperatives. Japan and other countries in the region are seeking ways to counter China's growing economic influence through the BRI. The alliance could serve as a platform for coordinating infrastructure investments and promoting alternative development models. Economic considerations are intertwined with security concerns in the Indo-Pacific. The Asian NATO proposal reflects the recognition that a coordinated approach is needed to address both traditional and non-traditional threats. Section 9. Charting a course success factors for an Asian NATO. The success of an Asian NATO hinges on a multitude of factors. First and foremost, sustained U.S. involvement is crucial. The United States, with its military might and global reach, remains the indispensable nation in any effort to counter China's influence. Second, India's alignment with Japan's goals is essential. New Delhi's strategic calculus, however, is complicated by its long-standing ties with Russia. Persuading India to take a more assertive stance vis-à-vis China will require addressing its security concerns and offering tangible incentives. Third, effectively countering China's economic influence through the BRI is paramount. The Asian NATO could serve as a platform for coordinating infrastructure investments and promoting alternative development models. However, success in this endeavor will require a concerted effort to address the legitimate development needs of countries in the region. The road to an Asian NATO is fraught with challenges. Overcoming these hurdles will require deft diplomacy, a shared sense of purpose, and a willingness to make difficult choices. The stakes, however, are high. The future of the Indo-Pacific, a region of vital importance to the global economy and security, hangs in the balance.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.